Have you ever noticed how when you're thinking about buying a specific car, you suddenly start seeing that exact model everywhere? Or how when you learn a new word, you begin hearing it in conversations, reading it in articles, and spotting it in movies? What if I told you that this isn't coincidence? It's your brain's most powerful filtering system at work, and understanding it could literally change your life. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and practical aspects of neuroscience, the Reticular Activating System, or ROS. This tiny cluster of neurons in your brainstem is quite possibly the closest thing science has discovered to a real-life manifestation machine. Over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how your ROS works, why it's been the secret behind every major success story you've ever heard, and most importantly, how you can reprogram it to filter reality in a way that brings your goals directly into your experience. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly attract opportunities while others struggle to see them, even when they're right in front? The answer lies in understanding your brain's most sophisticated filtering system. Let's start with the science. The reticular activating system is a network of neurons located in your brainstem, roughly the size of your little finger. Despite its small size, it's connected to virtually every major part of your brain: your cortex, your thalamus, your hypothalamus, and your spinal cord. Think of your ROS as your brain's bouncer. Every single second, your nervous system processes approximately 11 million bits of information. That's 11 million pieces of data flooding your senses every moment you're alive. But here's the thing. Your conscious mind can only handle about 126 bits per second. That means 99.999% of reality is being filtered out of your conscious awareness right now. Your ROS is the system that decides what makes it through that filter and what gets blocked out. It's constantly asking, is this important? Does this match what my human is focused on? Does this relate to their survival, their goals, or their beliefs? Imagine you're at a crowded party with dozens of conversations happening simultaneously. Somehow you can focus on the person in front of you and filter out all of the background noise. But the moment someone across the room mentions your name, your attention immediately shifts. Your ROS just did its job. It recognized something personally relevant and brought it to your conscious attention. This isn't just about survival anymore. In our modern world, your ROS is constantly scanning for information that matches your dominant thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. It's looking for evidence to support whatever you've told it is important. And here's where it gets really interesting. Your ROS doesn't distinguish between positive and negative focus. It simply looks for matches to whatever you're consistently thinking about. The phenomenon we're discussing has been studied extensively in neuroscience labs around the world. It's called selective attention, and the research is absolutely fascinating. In the 1950s, researchers Colin Cherry and Donald Broadbent conducted groundbreaking studies on what they called the cocktail party effect, our ability to focus on specific stimuli while filtering out others. They discovered that our brains are constantly making millions of micro-decisions about what deserves our attention. Dr. Daniel Simons at the University of Illinois conducted one of the most famous experiments demonstrating this principle. In his invisible gorilla study, participants were asked to count basketball passes between players wearing white shirts. While focusing on this task, over 50% of participants completely missed a person in a gorilla suit walking directly through the scene. This wasn't a failure of vision. Their eyes saw the gorilla. It was their eyes filtering out information that didn't match their current focus. Modern neuroimaging has shown us that the ROS physically changes based on what we consistently focus on. Dr. Judson Brewer's research at Yale has demonstrated that meditation and focused attention actually strengthen the neural pathways in the ROS, making it more efficient at filtering information that aligns with our intentions. But perhaps the most compelling research comes from Dr. Carol Dweck's work on mindset at Stanford. Her studies show that people with a growth mindset, those who believe abilities can be developed, literally see more opportunities for learning and improvement than those with a fixed mindset. Their ROS is primed to notice possibilities rather than limitations. This isn't positive thinking or wishful thinking. This is your brain's hardware working exactly as designed, filtering reality based on your programmed priorities. Now let's talk about how this actually plays out in real life, because understanding the mechanism is one thing. Seeing how it shapes your daily experience is another. Your ROS is constantly creating what psychologists call confirmation bias. But rather than seeing this as a limitation, we can understand it as a powerful tool. Your brain is literally constructing your reality based on what you've told it to look for. Let me give you some concrete examples. Financial focus. If you're constantly worried about money and thinking I can't afford this, your ROS starts filtering reality to show you evidence of scarcity. You notice every price increase, every bill, every expense. You miss opportunities for additional income because your attention is focused on lack rather than abundance. But flip that script. Start focusing on abundance and opportunity, and your ROS begins highlighting different aspects of the same reality. You notice job postings, business opportunities, ways to save money, and possibilities you were blind to before. I want to share Sarah's story. She's a viewer who applied these principles last year. Sarah was stuck in a job she hated, constantly thinking there are no good opportunities in my field. Her ROS was confirming this belief daily. She saw every rejection, every closed door, every reason why her industry was difficult. Then she learned about the ROS and decided to experiment. She started each day by writing, I am open to exciting career opportunities that align with my skills and passions. Within 3 weeks, she noticed a LinkedIn post about a company she'd never heard of. Within 2 months, she had her dream job. Same reality, same LinkedIn feed, same opportunities. But her ROS was finally tuned to the right frequency. This works in relationships too. If you believe all the good ones are taken, your ROS will filter your social interactions to confirm this belief. You'll notice every wedding ring, every couple, every reason why potential partners aren't right for you. But focus on, I attract loving, compatible people into my life. And suddenly you start noticing the single person at the coffee shop who shares your interests. The friend of a friend who's been hoping to meet someone like you. The opportunities for connection that were invisible before. The reality hasn't changed. Your filter has. This is where ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience converge in the most beautiful way. What spiritual traditions have called manifestation, law of attraction, or focused intention is actually your ROS doing exactly what it's designed to do. But let's be clear about something. The ROS isn't magic. It's not creating opportunities out of thin air. What it's doing is far more practical and powerful. It's helping you notice and act on opportunities that already exist. Think about successful entrepreneurs. They don't have access to different opportunities than everyone else. They have an ROS that's been programmed to recognize business possibilities. While most people see problems, their brains are filtered to see solutions and opportunities. Richard Branson didn't start Virgin Airlines because airplane opportunities don't exist for other people. His ROS was tuned to notice gaps in customer service and think, how could this be done better? That's not magic. That's a well-programmed filtering system. Olympic athletes understand this intuitively. They don't just train their bodies, they train their ROS through visualization. When a gymnast mentally rehearses their routine hundreds of times, they're programming their RAS to notice every detail that contributes to perfect execution. During competition, their RAS filters out distractions and highlights exactly what they need to see. The timing, the positioning, the micro adjustments that separate good from great. Artists and inventors have always known this secret. When you become obsessed with solving a creative problem, your RA starts collecting seemingly unrelated pieces of information that suddenly combine into breakthrough insights. The Beatles didn't stumble upon their sound by accident. Their RAS was constantly filtering musical influences, looking for combinations that matched their vision of what music could become. Steve Jobs didn't randomly decide to combine a phone, iPod, and internet device. His RAS had been collecting information about user experience and technological possibilities for years, waiting for the moment when all the pieces align. Now comes the practical part: how to deliberately program your RAS to filter reality in alignment with your goals. This isn't theory anymore. This is your instruction manual. Step 1. Clarity of focus. Your RAS responds to specific, clear instructions. Vague goals produce vague results. Instead of "I want to be successful," try "I am building a business that generates $10,000 per month, helping people learn digital marketing skills." The more specific you are, the more precisely your RAS can filter information. It's like upgrading from a basic radio to a high-definition receiver. Suddenly, you can tune into exactly the frequency you want. Step 2. Consistent input. Your RAS is programmed by repetition. One positive thought doesn't reprogram years of negative filtering. You need consistent, daily input that reinforces your new focus. This is why vision boards work, not because they're magical, but because they provide daily visual input that programs your RAS. Every time you see your goals represented visually, you're strengthening the neural pathways that filter reality toward those outcomes. Step 3. Emotional engagement. Here's something most people miss. Your RAS responds more strongly to information that's emotionally charged. Dry, intellectual goals don't create the same filtering effect as goals that excite you, inspire you, or even frighten you a little. When you think about your goals, feel the emotions you'll experience when you achieve them. Your RAS doesn't just filter for logical matches, it filters for emotional relevance too. Step 4. Active questioning. Instead of making statements, ask your RAS questions. Questions create an open loop in your mind that your brain feels compelled to close. Instead of "I need more money," try "How can I create more value in the world while increasing my income?" Your RAS will start filtering reality to answer that question, showing you opportunities, ideas, and resources you would have missed otherwise. Step 5. Act on the information. This is crucial. Your RAS filters information, but you have to act on what it shows you. If you start noticing opportunities but don't take action, your RAS will gradually stop highlighting them. It learns from your behavior what's actually important to you. Every time you act on an opportunity or RAS presence, you're reinforcing the program and making it more powerful. Let's talk about the mistakes that keep people from successfully programming their RAS, because understanding these pitfalls can save you months or years of frustration. Mistake 1. Focusing on what you don't want. Remember, your RAS doesn't distinguish between positive and negative focus. It just looks for matches. If you're constantly thinking "I don't want to be broke," your RAS filters for evidence of financial struggle. If you think "I don't want to be alone," it highlights loneliness and isolation. The solution is simple but requires discipline. Always focus on what you want to move toward, not what you want to move away from. Mistake 2. Conflicting programs. Many people try to program their race for success while maintaining limiting beliefs that contradict their goals. You can't program your us to notice business opportunities while believing successful people are greedy or money is the root of all evil. Your subconscious beliefs create competing programs that cancel each other out. This is why mindset work is so important. You need alignment between your conscious goals and your subconscious beliefs. Mistake 3. Impatience with the process. Your RAS has been programmed by years or decades of consistent thought patterns. Reprogramming it isn't an overnight process. It requires consistent input over time. Most people try for a few days or weeks, don't see dramatic changes, and conclude it doesn't work. But neuroplasticity research shows that significant neural pathway changes typically require 60-90 days of consistent practice. Mistake 4. Passive waiting. Some people think programming their RAs means sitting back and waiting for opportunities to magically appear. But the RA is a filtering system, not a delivery system. It shows you what's already there. You still have to take action. The most successful people combine RA programming with consistent action. They prime their brain to see opportunities, then they act on what they see. Mistake 5. Programming for others' goals. Your RAS responds to your authentic desires, not what you think you should want. If you're trying to program yourself for a goal that doesn't genuinely excite you, maybe because it's what your parents want or what society expects, your RAS won't engage fully. This is why following your passion isn't just feel-good advice, it's practical neuroscience. Your brain filters most effectively for things you genuinely care about. Once you've mastered the basics, there are some advanced techniques that can supercharge your RAS programming. Technique 1. Environmental design. Your physical environment constantly programs your asset. If your workspace is cluttered and chaotic, your RAS filters for disorder and distraction. If it's organized and inspirational, your RAS filters for focus and possibility. Successful people intuitively understand this. They surround themselves with visual reminders of their goals, books related to their interests, and people who share their ambitions. They're literally creating an environment that programs their RAS for success. Technique 2. Language patterns. The words you use shape how your RAS filters reality. Instead of "I'm trying to lose weight," say "I'm becoming healthier every day." Instead of "I hope I can start a business," say "I'm building my business step by step." Present tense, positive language creates more powerful RAS programming than future tense or tentative language. Technique 3. Mental rehearsal plus. Standard visualization is good, but what's even more powerful is mental rehearsal that includes all your senses and emotions. When you visualize achieving your goals, include not just what you'll see, but what you'll hear, feel, smell, and even taste. The more vivid and multisensory your mental rehearsal, the stronger the neural pathways you're creating in your RAS. Technique 4. Failure integration. Advanced practitioners don't just program their RAS for success, they program it to see opportunity in failure. They train their filtering system to notice what they can learn from setbacks, how challenges can make them stronger, and how apparent failures often redirect them toward better opportunities. This creates anti-fragility, the ability to get stronger from stress rather than being weakened by it. Technique 5. Social RAS programming. Your RAS is influenced by the people you spend time with. If you're surrounded by people who constantly complain about lack of opportunities, your RAS will filter for scarcity. If you're around people who see possibilities everywhere, your RAS will too. This is why masterminds, coaching groups, and carefully chosen communities are so powerful. They provide social programming for your RAS. Here's what I want you to understand. Your RAS is already working. Right now, it's filtering reality based on whatever you've been consistently focusing on. The question isn't whether this system works. The question is whether you're going to take conscious control of it. You have three choices. You can let your RAS continue operating on autopilot, programmed by whatever random thoughts and media you consume. You can try to ignore it and wonder why some people seem luckier than others. Or you can take conscious control and start programming it to filter reality in alignment with your highest goals and deepest values. Your 7-day RAS challenge. Starting tomorrow, I want you to choose one specific goal and spend 5 minutes each morning clearly visualizing it as already achieved. Write it down. Feel the emotions of having accomplished it, and ask your RAS this question: how can I move closer to this goal today? Then pay attention. Notice what opportunities, ideas, and resources show up that you might have missed before. Act on at least one thing your RAS shows you each day. I want to hear your results. Comment below with your goal and check back in a week to share what your RAS started showing you. Let's create a community of people who understand how to work with their brain's natural filtering system rather than against it. If this video opened your eyes to the power of the reticular activating system, share it with someone who needs to understand how their brain is shaping their reality. Subscribe for more content that bridges ancient wisdom and modern neuroscience, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming series on advanced manifestation techniques. Remember, you're not trying to bend reality to your will. You're learning to see the reality that's already there, filtered through the lens of your highest possibilities. Your RAS is waiting for your instruction. What are you going to program it to see? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into your brain's manifestation filter. If you found this valuable, you'll love our next video, where we explore how to combine raw programming with strategic action planning for accelerated results. Don't forget to grab our free RAS programming worksheet in the description below. It includes templates for goal clarification, visualization scripts, and daily programming exercises. Until next time, keep filtering reality for your highest good.